The Saints and the Giants met for the first time ever, and they wasted little time getting acquainted. Giant quarterback Fran Tarkenton wasted little time either in displaying his elusiveness. On the Giants' first offensive drive, he ran and passed his team into an early lead. This diving catch by number 88, Aaron Thomas, set the stage for Ernie Coy's power blast into the end zone. Giants 7, Saints zip. The Saints came to play too. The hard running of fullback Jimmy Taylor gets him on track early. Rookie John Gilliam, number 42, behind good interference, races to the Giants' 31. From there, quarterback Gary Quazzo hits rookie Dan Abramowitz to tie it up, 7-all. Late in the first period, the Saints hard rush Devils Tarkenton. He forces his pass and throws his only interception of the day. A strategy session with Coach Allie Sherman follows. As the period ends, Quazzo finds Vern Burke for 21 yards. Coach Tom fears once more. The first play of the second quarter features Abramowitz maneuvering to the Giants' 1. Quazzo sneaks it in as the surprising Saints take the lead 14-7. The Giants storm back. Off the play action, it's Tarkenton to Homer Jones for 44 yards and deep penetration. A screen to Ernie Coy takes the ball inside the 5. Fullback Tucker Fredrickson barrels across the goal to tie the game, 14-all at the half. In the third period, the Saints are given another dose of Tarkenton. Tucker Fredrickson propelled his 220 pounds goalward, too. The touchdown came on this great catch by Tarkenton's favorite receiver, Homer Jones, who pulls up lame. The extra point was blocked, but the Giants led 20-14. The Saints came right back. This Quazzo to Tom Hall aerial started their drive. Split end Ray Pogue was next. A Giant penalty, and then John Gilliam for the score and a new Saints lead. The diminutive Tarkenton was the story of the fourth quarter and of the game. He completed 18 of 28 passes for 348 yards behind an offensive line that never permitted him to be dumped. His style kept the Saints defense loose. Saints coach Fears remains very concerned. His second touchdown pass of the day to Bobby Crispino was the go-ahead tally that the Saints couldn't match. The Giants won 27-21, winning their second game and matching last season's victory total.
Both the Browns and the Steelers go into Saturday night's game with 1-2 records. Both clubs are having problems at quarterback. The Steelers are going with rookie Kent Nix. The Browns with Frank Ryan, who'll be playing with several minor injuries. As expected, the first quarter was dominated by defense. Marv Woodson picks off Ryan's pass. The Pittsburgh offense is stymied by a grudging Cleveland defense. The Steelers have to settle for a 43-yard field goal attempt. Mike Clark's shot is good, and Pittsburgh has a 3-0 advantage. As the Cleveland offense takes the field, the quarter changes. Frank Ryan finds his footing despite 2 injured ankles and sets loose Leroy Kelly. Tonight, Kelly is the league leader in rushing. This 9-yard gain is a good example of why. Kelly's a slasher, and Ernie Green is a bruiser. He bowls into Steeler territory. Ryan has set up the pass to Larry Conjar. Defensive holding on this play, matched by a similar infraction 3 plays later, carries the Browns to the Steelers 17. No help from the referee is needed here as Ryan finds Warfield for the 6-pointer. The Browns defense is hot and comes up with the ball almost immediately. The Steeler defense won't be overshadowed though. Marv Woodson pulls off his second interception. If Kent Nix can beat the clock, the Steelers will have the halftime advantage. Pittsburgh penetrates to the Browns 13, but Cleveland leads 7-3 at the break. The defensive battle of the first half will give way to a wild offensive seesaw in the third quarter. Ryan picks up Catfish Smith sliding out to the flat. He's all alone with a clear track to the goal. Smith carries the final tackler over, and the Browns are up 14-3. The rookie Kent Nix rolled up 208 yards passing, 13 on this square out to Dick Compton. Nix comes back with a heady call. John Hilton on the end around. The drive's capped when Nix finds Dick Hope running clear on this flare pattern. The Steelers are closing. It's 14-10. The teeter-board battle continues as the Browns storm back. Ryan swings Ernie Green to the right, and the Cleveland fullback blasts in for what will prove to be the final score of the night. As it began, so it will end. The final quarter is dominated by ball-hawking defense. Ryan has all the time he needs, but it doesn't help. Andy Russell returns 42 yards. With 5 seconds remaining, the Steelers are still going for it. Ross Fichtner drops the curtain on the final play. The score, Browns 21, Steelers 10. With this win, the Cleveland Browns are in striking distance of this week's opponent, the division-leading St. Louis Cardinals.
In an interconference meeting, the Philadelphia Eagles venture south to play the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons' Junior Coffey shows power on the first play of the game. But a first quarter nightmare is just around the corner for Atlanta. On a poorly thrown pass from Steve Sloan, Aaron Martin records the Eagles' first interception of the day. The Eagles waste no time in capitalizing. Their two powerful setbacks, number 37, Tom Woodishick, and Izzy Lang, move the Birds deep into Falcon territory. They totaled over 150 yards rushing today and should continue to pulverize defensive lines in the future. On a play the Eagles rehearsed especially for this game, Gary Ballman runs the classic end around and scores the first Eagles touchdown. The Falcons' second series bears the Eagles' second interception. This time the thief is number 83, Don Hulse. Hulse rumbles into the end zone to make it 14-0. When the Eagles get the ball again, Woodishick adds 41 more yards to his day's efforts on this fullback reverse. Five plays later, Snead to Ditka produces another Eagles score. Baker adds a field goal as the Falcons suffer through a horrendous first quarter, trailing 24-0. The brightest light of the day for Atlanta was number 34, Junior Coffey. He personally accounted for more than one-half the Falcons' total yardage. But he alone could not make up for the comedy of errors which plagued Atlanta today. Every time they mounted a drive, every time they got close, an interception or a fumble burst their bubble. In all, they unnecessarily turned over the ball to Philadelphia 6 times on 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles. And when it looked like they would finally score towards the end of the half, an intentional grounding penalty closed the door. In the third quarter, the Eagles increase their 24-0 lead. Jim Gray returns the kickoff to the 33. On the ensuing play, Snead finds Gary Ballman wide open. And a 67-yard touchdown follows. Eagles 31, Falcons nothing. Quarterback Randy Johnson gamely tries to move Atlanta. He spots Coffey for 11. A typical Tommy McDonald reception nets 9 more. But on 4th and 2, the tough Eagle defense holds and regains possession once more. It's a sad day for Mr. Falcon. More of the same in the fourth quarter. Number 84, Jim Kelly, hauls in a Snead aerial and makes it to the Atlanta 7. Tom Woodishik puts the icing on the cake. It's 38-0 midway through the fourth quarter. Atlanta gets one last chance. Coffey bounces his way upfield. Rookie Jim Mankin takes a swing pass and garners 10 yards before he gets bounced himself. It's Knopfsinger to Simmons for the Falcons' only touchdown. The Eagles overpower Atlanta 38-7 to stay tied for first in the Capital Division.
In a game matching two of the most volatile offenses in football, hard tackling and fierce defensive play took the place of the expected touchdowns and long bombs. For the entire first half, the Cowboys and the Redskins matched mass and muscle in a rugged defensive struggle. Corner linebacker Chris Hanberger, number 55, sparked the Washington defense to its finest performance of the year. The pass rush was quick and forceful. The Redskins overwhelmed the explosive Dallas offense and handed quarterback Don Meredith a fearful beating. The Dallas defense, unable to get Redskin quarterback Jurgensen, vented its hostility on the Washington ball carriers. Led by number 74, Bob Lilly, the Cowboys limited the Redskins to a meager 11 yards rushing in the first half. But 2 of those yards went to Ray McDonald on a touchdown plunge that accounted for the first half's only score and a 7-0 lead for Washington. In the second half, Dallas coach Tom Landry made some offensive adjustments. Dan Reeves and Don Perkins moved steadily through the Redskins on quick-hitting inside trap plays. Double coverage on Bob Hayes enabled Lance Rensel, number 19, to break free and gather in Meredith's pass for the Cowboys' first touchdown. Minutes later, Dan Villanueva booted a 27-yard field goal, and the Cowboys, now in control of the game late in the third quarter, seemed confident of victory. Dallas's slim three-point lead stood up through the third period, but late in the fourth period, the tenor of the game changed on one of the most unpredictable and exciting plays in football, the punt return. Tiny Ricky Harris, number 46, one of the league's most elusive punt return artists, threaded his way through 41 yards of Dallas Cowboys to give Washington a 1st and 10 on the Dallas 34. Harris's run gave the Redskins a needed lift and gave Sonny Jurgensen one last chance to direct the Washington offense. Sonny connected with Bobby Mitchell on a halfback flat pass, and Bobby raced to the Cowboy 13. With less than 2 minutes to play, Jurgensen passed to Charlie Taylor for the score, and now it was Washington who seemed confident of victory. Now the pressure, all of it, was on Don Meredith, who had to drive his team 71 yards in 70 seconds. Trailing by 4 points, the Cowboys had to march to a touchdown. A field goal would mean nothing. A 17-yard pass to Craig Bainham, and then this 12-yard completion to Lance Rensel moved Dallas to the Redskin 36. On third down, a blitz by Hamburger forced Meredith to throw incomplete. 4th down and 4, 18 seconds to play. Dallas trailing 14-10. Dan Reeves circled out of the backfield, and Meredith's pass found him uncovered on the 9-yard line. Reeves raced in for a touchdown that may well prove to be the most important Dallas touchdown in 1967. For the second straight year, Don Meredith has led the Cowboys to a heart-stopping last-second win over the Redskins in D.C. Stadium. Dallas is now tied with Philadelphia for first place in the Capital Division.
At Washington, D.C. Stadium, Dallas quarterback Don Meredith almost had his head torn off by Redskin Chris Hamburger. On the very next play, with 18 seconds remaining, Meredith came back with a 4th down, 36-yard game-winning touchdown pass to Dan Reeves to provide an unbelievable finish to this Cowboy victory.